everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, Ashish and Kekul are also joining. Yeah. So hope you guys have some rest in between and thoughts also. Any question which is bothering you to proceed? Because this particular session, the first session in the afternoon, will be the primary session of Pure Nature Cure. We consider that's the most important session, the upcoming session. So we request you to be absolutely mindful. So if any question bothering you, which is not allowing you to concentrate, please share. Anyone? Professor Ainapur? Sir, are you able to follow? Yeah, Prashant, you have unmuted.
Yeah.
Sir.
In three layers of nature and life,
Yes.
you have equated the formless with energy as well as with the neural.
Yes.
So please elaborate, because forms you have equated with mechanical, processing you have equated with the chemical, and formless you have equated with the vitality as well as with the neural. So I want the connection between vitality and neural.
Neural impulses actually.
Okay.
So neural impulses are not perceivable, like it's a formless aspect. Mind, as we say, that the formation of the mind, or I have mind, you have mind, this kind of sayings are there, but we cannot show this specific aspect called mind, which is a neural impulsive aspect. It's a gatheration of perceptions. We'll understand the formation. Yes.
That I understand, that the neural activity is formless.
Yes.
But how it is equivalent to the vitality?
It's not equivalent as such. It's not exactly equivalent, we propose, but both are formless.
Okay.
Isn't it?
So the neural activity and vitality are different.
No, we are not saying different, but both are formless.
Okay.
Right. So vitality is needed for the neural activity, and as it goes from gross to subtle, like physical, physiological, and psychological, three layers, if we understand, then it is gross to subtle transportation. Physical is very gross. Then physiological is subtler than the physical. And then psychological or neural aspect is absolutely subtle. In these all three domains, vitality is needed. So as it goes subtler to subtler, the needed aspect of vitality will be more and more, because it goes to the similar existence. Vitality is also formless. Neural aspect is also formless. So formless will attract more formless there. Are you able to understand this?
Okay.
The subtlety aspect, gross to subtle, you understood? The layers?
Yeah.
Right, sir. We'll understand this more actually. Tomorrow we'll be diving deep into these subtlety aspect.
Okay.
Yeah. So any
And
other?
you whatever you are saying is PNC, and you have compared with the non-PNC approach. So
Sir,
both of you have the same philosophy but have different approach, right?
yes.
The
So one is the
end product
understanding.
end product is same, but approach are different, right?
No, we are not saying the end product is same. Approach actually defines the end product also. Like if somebody is approaching natural hygiene with just experience, we actually understand that the experiences can be morphed. And in this particular session, we will be understanding how experiences are morphed. right? So we cannot rely upon the experience alone, leaving our neural exercising investigation. So PNC is an investigative approach, which is questioning everything.
Okay. Okay. And once we have said that this discard the theory of deficiency.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
does it mean that we do not require to eat a variety of things? Rather, our body can synthesize whatever is needed with some minimal category of foods by its transmutation mechanism, right?
Yeah, but we are not saying that we should not eat varieties. We should consider the voice of the organism as the primary governing factor to eat food,
Okay.
with exposure to varieties of food. It is not a mono food we are recommending, but a specific mono food we are not recommending. Specific variety, like we are not saying that you have to eat banana only, then only this thing will happen to the body.
Okay.
In PNC, it is not a proposal. So we'll understand that also under the myths tomorrow morning session, why we say that deficiency is a myth. The theory of deficiency is a myth. Yes. Any other question?
Yes,
Sir.
Mr. Kalyan,
Sir.
that as PNC do not define deficiency, root cause is toxemia, as we have already seen in the previous slide. But
Yes.
in medical practice, what we see, a patient comes to you with hemoglobin, lower hemoglobin, and we investigate, and there is iron deficiency. We go for iron infusion, and within few weeks we see their hemoglobin is, yes, okay, fine, patient is satisfied, low hemoglobin. So, what you suggest regarding this?
Sir, this topic is having a separate importance. That's why tomorrow morning we will take deficiency, infection, and immunity. All these three things together. Will that be fine, sir?
Okay.
If we take it tomorrow?
No problem at all. Just I have put on question, two
Yes,
questions
yes,
already in
yes,
basket.
yes, 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 yes. Tomorrow it will be met. Right. Should we proceed then? Further, any question, anybody, which is bothering?
Kalyan, there's a question from someone in the chat window.
Yes, yes, yes. Soparna. Yeah, Soparna, good afternoon. I have a question regarding the vitality ribbon. Can we increase our green portion by bringing in more creative thoughts all the time? By bringing in more creative thoughts, how would you propose to bring more creative thoughts? Next, how can we bypass the body sensation? My audio is bad. Okay, that's why you're not audio. Okay, Professor Ainapur also is not getting the audio, but he is able to get. Right. So, Soparna, this question pertaining to the vitality ribbon, let us.
I'm getting the audio now. No
Okay,
problem.
sir. Okay, sir.
No problem.
Okay. So, Soparna, this vitality ribbon, let the topic comes after that. You are repeating the course. That's why you are bringing the question from the future topic. So, vitality ribbon, let's have the vitality ribbon. I'll take up this question then. Right. If this session doesn't cover it, then just bring it on again. Otherwise, I'll also bring. It's a good question, actually. Needs more exploration. Yeah. Right. So let's proceed with our topic of voice of the organism. Voice of the organism is the primary principle of pure nature cure. To understand voice of the organism, we need to understand this aspect. Whatever the proposal is coming, we are going straight to the purpose of taking that particular initiative, or even the conspiracy also. We inquired that what could be the purpose of picking up conspiracy as conspiracy by someone. So purpose is very important to understand. So while investigating the purpose of life, let us separate the intention from the purpose. Like we may sketch some intentional purpose. So we are not talking about the intention, we are not talking about the opinion. So what we are trying to probe into is what is the natural programmatic purpose of life? What is the natural programmatic purpose? Like irrespective of the intentions of individual, what is the purpose of everybody's life? Every organism's life. It's not about Homo sapiens alone. So the purpose, we could observe that the purpose is programmatic growth. Everything is growing, and it's a mathematical growth we are talking about, expansion from small to big, from small to big. Now this from small to big, the growth happens in two ways. One is the physical growth. We see that a zygote becomes a multicellular organism and grows from baby to child to further grown-ups. So this physical growth is very much evident that we observe in organisms' life. Another growth that happens parallelly, which is the cognitive growth. Now that cognitive growth is a neural achievement. It happens through the neural impulses, and it happens depending upon the structure of the organism. It happens by probing into the environment and the self both. Probing into means by understanding, by assimilating the understanding about the environment, about the things that we interact with, that we connect with. So that is what is the cognitive growth. Now cognitive growth is also an expansion. How it is expansion? Now when we start understanding the surroundings, we actually try to go deep into it to understand what it is exactly. And this process is a process of mental transportation. We mentally transport ourselves to that specific aspect and try to understand this. What is this mental transportation? There are lots of different terms that we use for mental transportation. One is mirroring, seeing self in that particular entity, which could be a static entity, which could be a dynamic entity like another organism. So when we observe a particular entity, be it a static, maybe a book, we concentrate in the book, in the content of the book, and we try to transport ourselves in the book's contents, and we see ourselves in the book. Finally, when we are comfortable about the book, we consider that this book is understood by me. Another aspect is when we interact with another organism, another individual, we try to understand that person. When we see ourselves in that person, we find ourselves that I am related to that person. So this mental transportation helps us to realize that we are related. This mirroring process helps us to realize that we are related. And now this relation, what does it mean? Relation means earlier when I was not feeling related, I was not identifying this relation, I was alone. Now I became 1 plus 1, 2. Likewise, I can become 1 plus infinity equals to infinity, slowly and gradually. Now these two transportations that we shared are a little different in its own way. One is the static transportation, because when I transport myself to a book, the book doesn't change further. So it's a static transportation. We transport to an entity which is static, which is not changing after my transportation. But when I transport to an organism, that time the organism is changing. So my transportation has to be a dynamic transportation, because I have transported to you today, tomorrow when I go to transport, I have to change my pattern of transportation according to your change. And that's how the relationship is maintained with the dynamics transportation. And it's a huge sense of growth, because I have to map with this dynamism. I am transporting to an entity which is changing itself. So this particular aspect of the cognitive growth is very interesting for human being, primarily because of the neural evolution. Because this cognitive growth is absolutely connected to the neural structure. And human being, the Homo sapiens, is having the most evolved neural structure on this planet. So, so this is the twofold growth that happens to self. One is the physical growth and other is the cognitive growth. And both are the expansion of the self, physical expansion and cognitive expansion. So with that, we need to also understand that the physical growth is a very limited growth, but cognitive growth is unlimited growth. There is no end to it. You can go on growing cognitively. That doesn't mean that we should demean the physical growth, because without the physical growth, the neural structure will not be supported. So this cognitive growth will not be supported further. So having an optimum physical growth will always help us to have a better state of cognitive growth. Now coming to the principle of voice of the organism. The voice of the organism, by the statement, is understandable that it is a voice of an organism. Voice of organism. It's an indication.
Can we take a small break?
No? Okay. Okay, we'll take a break since Minu is asking for this. And meanwhile, I can take some questions.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah.